Now I'm going to try to recreate the Monopoly logo. Try to do it quickly too, because I don't think it's going to take that long. So this will help illustrate how to recreate a graphic in Monopoly in Adobe Illustrator. Not that you're supposed to. You got to be legal about this stuff, but I'm just using this as an example. Monopoly logo. So I got a Monopoly logo online. I'm going to drag it into my Adobe Illustrator file here, and I'm holding my shift key down to constrain proportions. Otherwise it's going to get squashy on me. I don't want squashy. So there we go. So we're going to lock that up. We're going to go to layers, and we're going to lock this layer, and we're going to create a new layer. So let's work on the background first. Actually, we'll call this red background. And then let's call this dude. We'll call this layer dude. So we're going to work on the red background first. And what we're going to do is go to our rounded rectangle tool, and we're going to approximate the size here. And you can grab these little corner brackets here, and you can change the corners pretty easily here. And I'm going to slide this down. I'm going to get my eyedropper tool. I'm going to sample that red. Pop that in place there. I'm going to replicate that again to do the outline. I'm going to send that to back, which is Command Shift and left bracket. And I am actually going over here to color, and I'm going to change this to my outline. Take my fill off. And sometimes you need to zoom in a little bit to see what's going on, but you take this, grab your corner brackets like this. I obviously want to increase the size of the outline, so I'll go over here to my stroke weights, and I'm going to pop that up to, I guess, about 3. Put that in position, like that. And you can go over here to your layers and turn off the background to see how you like it, and you can see that we need to make an adjustment here, so we're going to scooch this up like so. Check the right side, make sure it's kind of balanced and even. You get the blue, you see the blue outlines that are in the middle there. That's smart guides, and that'll kind of keep you focused and centered. Yippee, yippee. Okay, all right, so I'm going to turn that dude back on. There's the background. Now, there's going to be some distinguishing differences here. Let me turn off the dude. Okay, so for example, we have a little bit of an arc here. So let me go to the red background, turn that layer on, and it looks like it's kind of a semicircle. So actually, you can hold your Option key down to start in the center, and I can make an oval here. See that red oval? So I'm gonna have to move that, and I'm gonna change that over here from outline to fill. I'm going to scooch that over there. And actually, you know what? I'm going to copy that. Watch this. I'm going to undo that, and I'm going to use this out. Whoops. I'm going to use that outline up here like that. And watch this. I'm going to go to my eraser tool, go to the scissors tool, and I'm going to cut this here, and I'm going to cut this here, and I'm going to go to this outline. I'm going to cut this off here, cut this off here. Go to my direct selection tool, get rid of this, get rid of the rest of this oval, and I am actually going to grab this, hold my shift key down, and connect these with Command J to join those. Command J, grab this one, Command J to join those. Now that's a little squirrely right there, so watch this. What I'm going to do is turn off the background and see how it's squirrely, very squirrely. Yeah. So I'm just going to scooch that. See, we can fine tune that right here with this tool right here. This is your direct selection tool. Selection tool, direct selection tool allows you to change points. So now we have that, and then what we're going to do is paste that copied red oval that I had. Oops, darn it. Yeah, there it is. I'm going to put that in position. I need to change the size a little bit. There. So that needs to be scooched down a little more. There. So that is our background. That's our red background. So actually, I'm going to slide that down underneath the layer here. So now we can work on the type. Now the type itself looks like, so I've been working with typography for quite some time. You can do some research. You can go on the website and look up Monopoly font or something, and sometimes you can find some third-party fonts that you can download to your computer and use. I mean, or you can start with something that's kind of sort of like this, and in this case here it looks like Futura. So what I'm going to do is add another layer here, and I'm going to type in Monopoly, which I'm using Futura because I believe that's what this font started out as. Again, this was done a long time ago, like in the 1930s. So it's kind of hard to say. They didn't have a lot of fonts to choose from back then. So, but I'm going to start with this. Going to fine tune it a little bit. Looks like it could be cable too, K-A-B-E-L. But I'm going to start with that. So what are we going to do? We're going to go over here up to, you can't see it on the computer actually, but I'm going to go to create outlines like this, because that's going to turn that font into something that's more outlined. So then what you can do is take your points and kind of mess around with it a little bit. And I'm not going to make it ultra precise right now for this video, but I'm just going to kind of show you how I would be working on this, just to kind of fine tune it. I mean, if I was doing this for an actual job, I'd spend a lot more time on it to perfect it and, make sure that it's exactly what I want it to be. But, you can play around here. You can zoom in and out. Once you turn this to, I'm going to ungroup it too. Once you turn this to art, you can treat each individual letter as a piece of art. And what's great about Illustrator is that they're all vector points. So you can really make a good high resolution graphic out of this. So the end's going to be scooched in here. Now again, I'm not going to mess with it too much because, I might go in. You notice that these here kind of kick up. These legs kind of kick up a little bit. So I'm going to do that. Probably do that with the M too. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, the artist that did this kick these legs up, and a lot of fonts actually do that automatically, but this definitely looks kind of customized. The O kind of resides behind the dude. Okay, there's the P. And when you're designing logos and when you're designing graphics with logos, you have to think about all that, because see how the guy sits on the O, it's very precise. That's what the artists do when they're working on these brands. So I'm going to scooch this over here, and let's see what we're going to do with this Y here. So we're going to put this over here. Oops. Scooch that over there. Put that over here. Grab this. This kicks down there. Yeah, I knew that would. Now this is tricky. This looks like the Y they put over here, like so. There. Okay. And it looks like they added the word brand, which is interesting. You don't often see that. I see their registered mark up there. You could take the same font, Futura, put that over here. I am not going to add a register mark because I'm not going to use this. This is only for illustration purposes, but I'm going to grab all of my letters. I'm holding my shift key down to be able to grab these all at the same time. I'm going to Command G to group them all together, and I am going to change that all to white. So there's my white type, and I want to put this, let's call this layer Monopoly. Oops. Okay, and we're going to add that, let's put that over the top of the red background, and then you can see kind of sort of what we've done. So there's somewhat of the fonts. Like I said, I'd probably fine tune some of this if I was doing this professionally, but that's the general gist of that. So now we just basically, we have the red background, we have the outline, we have the font, we have the type. So now we would draw the dude. So what I'll do is turn these layers off here. And now I'll go up to the dude layer. And this here, this more or less is just freestyle drawing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here to my pen tool, and and start drawing it in. Make sure I'm on the right layer. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Why aren't you drawing, Mister? Oh, because I don't have the layer on. Make sure you have the layer on. Okay. So we're gonna go from here, and I'm gonna make my way down here. I'm gonna curve around the O, and again, I'm just gonna sort of eyeball this first. So I'm gonna grab this here, and I'm gonna start drawing the black outlines. There are many ways to do this in Illustrator, and you can even do it in Photoshop. Actually, what you can do is go over here to the color and turn the color off so you can only see your outlines right now. And again, I'm just going to crank through this because I don't think you guys want to sit here like a Bob Ross video and watch me for 3.5 hours working at this thing. So basically, there are a lot of tools in Illustrator that you can use to make your life a lot easier with drawing. Yeah, see, it's kind of tedious, but so I'm gonna go through this and outline all of the background black, and again, don't pick on me because I'm not going to fine tune it directly. Just want to make this quick and simple. In fact, I'm probably spending too much time as it is on this as already, but kind of becomes a habit after doing this for so many years. You sort of become your own perfectionist. So anyway, bear with me. So there's the black outline. So what I'm going to do now is, obviously I'm going to have a bunch of layers. I'm going to create this as black as the outline. See, that's the dude outline. So I'm going to actually go over here to layers, and I'm going to add another layer, and I'm going to turn this off and this on, and I'll call this dude inside, because now we got the dude outline. So now what I want to do is I want to dig into this, and I'm going to use this dude inside layer, and I'm going to create this white stuff here. Okay, so we do that, and we're going to make this actually white. So next I'm going to do this part. You know, what you want to do when you're working on these as a job is you're going to zoom in really tight and make sure that, make sure you do a real nice job, because if you're doing this for a client or project or whatever, or even if it's for yourself, and, you really want to spend a lot of time making sure it's good, But if it's for a client, you absolutely want to spend the time to go through it, take your time. You can actually view this in outline view and get a really tight view of what's going on in the drawing. I'll show you what that's like in a second, but oops. Yeah, so that's a white part there. Man, he's got a lot of crazy parts to him. You can see the artist that drew this. I'm betting that the artist who created this originally was done freehand, long before obviously it was done in freehand, because they didn't have computers back then, back in the 30s, not even close. So it was all done by freehand, probably a pen and ink drawing. I'm dating myself when I say this, but one of my first jobs as a graphic designer was working for a company, Island Design, in New London, Connecticut, and it was a lot of freehand. I had to actually draw a lot of stuff by hand. Oops, be careful with these curves. They actually call these Bezier curves. They're like a French name. I'm going to turn the white off so I can see it. See the little bottom of that guy's mustache. The Bezier curve tool. It takes getting used to. Most of the people I train or I show how to use this tool, they get kind of frustrated because you know what, where you position it, it gets kind of clunky. But like I said, after using it for so many years, you kind of get used to it. I hope you're not getting too bored with me here, but I'm getting there. Just making a lot of outline shapes here. Yeah. So sometimes you got to start over with certain parts too, which is fine. That's why I like to work in layers when I'm working with Photoshop and Illustrator actually. But when I'm working in Illustrator, I love working with layers because it's just easier to manipulate and change. So you could redo layers if you need to. So I'm undoing, if you didn't see, I'm undoing this because I don't want to go around this black part. I actually want to focus on this white stuff here. So I'll do this. Yeah, there we go. So then we can go back to the white. Okay, so there's some of the white there. Let me put, you could speed this up too. If I speed this up by doing just rectangular shapes instead of the curves on the corners, that definitely helps speed this along, which I'll do. I'm going to be kind to my watchers. Because again, this is just kind of showing you how to do this, how to work with this. I actually have an iPad, and what you can do in iPad is use the Apple Pencil and hand draw these things too, which is kind of cool. All right, so there's that part of the cane. There are many ways to draw things like canes too. I mean, there are several tools. You'll have to check out other videos, but there are a lot of different ways to draw things. There's not one way to do it. I mean, you get trained in school and you change the software, and then there's a whole nother way of doing it. In fact, there's other software that people use to make this kind of stuff. But right now I'm just going in and filling in the see, sometimes I go like this to see where I'm going, but yeah, I want to curve this around here, which is chest plate or whatever. Okay, so now I have some of that white stuff here. Dude inside, I'm going to turn that off, and now I'm going to go create another layer, and I'm going to call this parts. Okay, so I'm actually going to use the circle tool here, and I'm going to, oops, I don't want to do that. I'm going to draw a circle, and I'm going to colorize that to black over here, and I'm going to replicate it. You can actually hold the Option key down and copy the eye. It actually is smaller though. I was going to say it's the same, but it's not. So make a smaller eyeball. I'm pretty sure the original was not as detailed as this one is, because this one I got online. It's definitely a more detailed logo. But hey, whatever. Gives you more to work with. Then you got these little doodads here, probably parts of his hair. And again, I'm just kind of whipping through this and creating these things. Oh, we got his little bow tie. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. So it's interesting, isn't it? It's kind of like a retro art, the bow tie. It's not an actual bow tie, but all right. So then we're going to create a black circle, and for this exercise, I'm just going to replicate that, holding my Option key down. Let's see, create two of those there. Let's see, what other little black pieces did we miss? Ah, yes, okay. Yeah, we need these doodads here. I'll do those. What else? Okay, I think I got those over there. We might actually have most of it. Okay, let's check it out. Okay, so you can see what's going on here. Let me zoom out. Okay, so let's go to our layers, and this is right now, these are the little parts pieces. This is the dude inside. which you can't see because it's actually white. I'll show you. So if we go to the red background, see the white inside guy part. But let's go back. Let's do it backwards. Actually, no, we'll work from the bottom. We'll do red background, Monopoly, the dude inside, and then the parts. And there you go. Voila! That is basically the Monopoly logo recreated. So what we can do here is we can take the original Monopoly logo there and turn these off, turn that on. Oops. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Well, what did I do? I moved the wrong thing, moved the wrong layer. There. Yeah, what we want is this one up here. That's the original right there. Okay, yeah. See? That's the original, and that's our recreation. So that's pretty much it. Using Illustrator to recreate the Monopoly logo. Ta-da!